I'm just contenting myself of nodding along here because I know absolutely nothing about the Olympics. So.
There are 8 sports that haven't had their funding confirmed. That's fencing, handball, shooting, table tennis, volleyball, water polo, weightlifting and wrestling. So they're all waiting in the wings to see how much they're going to get. Along also with 4 Paralympic sports, unfortunately, haven't been told how much they're going to get. The biggest losers have been losers in the sense of funding have been shooting, table tennis, handball, and fencing. So it's all very confusing. There's so much going on, and obviously there's a bit like Sports Personality of the Year. There's so much work goes into deciding, how much these sports should get.
Right.
And UK Sport and various other organisations will also plumb to try and get funding from companies and various things like that, and advertising anywhere that the sports can get money from.
And so all this money you're talking about, the increases, who pays, who funds these professional athletes?
Well, we as technically do, the government, etc. I think, which is why there was a worry because obviously Gordon Brown, when he was Chancellor, promised a certain amount of money for the benefit of London 2012, right. And there was worry that amount would not be received. So I haven't looked too far into it, unfortunately, because time has not allowed for that. But hopefully they'll all be on track for getting what they were hoping to get.
Okay.
And then hopefully in 2012 we'll see the benefits.
Absolutely.
But it's good stuff. I mean, we did so well in Beijing that to cut funding now and to let athletes down would be a shame, and it would be very unfair because they all work so hard. So hopefully the funding, especially in the areas where they hadn't obviously had funding before, will make such a huge difference.
For Britain especially, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really good news. It's great. It's very exciting.
It is indeed. For you, I really don't follow the Olympics, to be honest with you.
You're missing out. You're missing out.
I don't really understand how it all works out. I mean, did you just see it on TV? I don't understand how they win and how countries get medals and stuff. I just don't understand it. But
really?
No, I don't understand anything about it. The only thing I know about the Olympics, to be honest with you, is Michael Phelps, the swimmer, the magical fish or something like that. What a disaster.
Oh, I'm so disappointed. We shall have to give you a masterclass. We'll have to give you all the information we can about the Olympics.
Okay, great.
So I cry when I watch the Olympics.
Ooh. Well, maybe I should watch it then.
Yeah, when Chris
we could have a crying session together.
The other cyclists get their medals. I have a good cry. I'm slightly over-emotional anyway as a person, but apart from that. Anyway, we've got plenty of rugby and football news on the way, but I think we should give everyone's ears a little rest with a tune.
Well, you're not going to like this, but it's Guru Josh Project, Infinity, here at Express Sports, the most hated song by Rachel. Or at least that's what you said last week, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's see if you recognize it.
Here's my key.
Oh, is it Faithless?
Philosophy.
No, it's Guru Project from Infinity.
Oh, okay, maybe I do like Faithless.
Okay, well, here it is.
Expressradio.co.uk. Designed for Cardiff, defined by you.
Indeed, you're listening to Express Radio. You can visit our website at expressradio.co.uk. You can even call us in at 029-207-81530 to discuss the latest scores, and we will move on to rugby and football. And Rachel is here to deliver.
Oh, okay. Pressure's on. Obviously, like I said, we didn't have the show on Monday, so we do have a bit of a rugby roundup from the weekend. Main news, really, you've probably all heard the results by now, but the Wales-New Zealand game, which I watched in a public house, was a fantastic game. Really enjoyed it. Wales won 21-18, so very close in the end, but fantastic for them. I know a few people who went and really enjoyed themselves in the stadium. The main things that came from it was, unfortunately, Cardiff University's very own Jamie Roberts fractured his skull. Ooh. But I assure everyone that, as far as I know, he is fine. Luckily, it's a very straight fracture, and it should heal very quickly and very, very easily.
I would hope so.
But he did that just banging heads, and obviously rugby players are very strong, so when they bang heads, it's probably a bit more severe than when we do. But he collided with Sterling Mortlock, who was taken out of the game straight away. So we were thrilled, because that's good news.
Okay.
And I just realised that I've just said that we beat New Zealand, but it was Australia. Sorry. And so Mortlock was off, which is great news. Jamie Roberts then carried on, helped Shane Williams to score a try, then decided he felt a little bit woozy and that maybe he should go off. So, yeah, he's fractured his skull, but should be fine. And unfortunately now, he won't be back till after the new year. But
he'll be here for the Six Nations.
Oh, yes,
okay,
yeah, he
good.
should be fine by then.
Great.
I said, in my medical opinion, because I was explaining this to my flatmate, I was telling her because she does medicine, and she was like, oh, yes, it sounds very straightforward. And I was going, yes, it's an undisplaced fracture, so it'll be fine.
Okay.
But he'll be back. But he played well in the short time he was on. Unfortunately for England, we lost 32-6 to New Zealand, and I'll be honest, I didn't watch the game because I watched the Wales one.
I didn't watch the Wales game actually because I've been working all weekend, or I was working all weekend, but it looked like a very exciting game.
Well, yeah, the Wales game was really great. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was. It's always very disappointing if you go out, if you have to leave the house to watch a game, whether it be rugby or football. It's always really annoying if it's a dull game or if they don't perform how you want them to. That
Absolutely.
really irritates me.
Talk about spending your money on a drink for nothing.
Yeah, and you're just like, why am I here? And I unfortunately had to have chips too because I was hungry. But my mum will be listening now going, God, chips.
Chips rock our world.
But unfortunately, like I said, England did lose to New Zealand, which was a shame and hasn't really done anything to help Martin Johnson out. But just, I say, give him time. Give him time. He will shake them all into things. But I mean, 4 yellow cards the England team got.
Oh, wow. Those sin bins.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah,
so that's 40 minutes when they're down to 10 men. I'm not sure if any of them were off at the same time, but I mean, it's just not on, really. And Toby Flood started the game instead of Danny Cipriani, and he got binned. Liam Mears was binned, James Haskell, and Tom Rees, all sin binned in one game.
Yeah, that's not, especially in a friendly game. I mean,
well, technically, yeah.
Yeah, technically, but still, I mean.
No, it's not good. The draws were made on Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock for the rankings and the World Cup. Called. I'm doing hand signs here, which doesn't help anyone. But they were announced on Monday, which unfortunately I haven't got with me. But I'm sure James and Seb and I will have a chat about those on Monday to see who's in the pool. Who's in each pool? That's
right,
what I was
that's the
looking
word.
for. Because Wales' win over Australia had meant they were in 5th place in the world rankings. England had dropped to 6th. And I haven't got the information for the other ones. But I used to do. The top 4 are New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, and Argentina. And New Zealand are hosting the World Cup.
Oh wow, that'll be pretty big. That'll be in what, 2000?
And they've got momentum because they've won this little tour because they beat everyone. They got the Grand Slam of the international sort of.
And this World Cup is in 3 years?
2011.
And that would be 3 years, would it?
Yeah,
my
we had
math
one
is
in
terrible.
2007, so it would be in 2011.
Okay, that'll be big. I mean, think about New Zealand.
I'd like to go, actually. I'd
To
love
New
to
Zealand.
go to New Zealand, yeah. Why not? Might as well go. Bit of rugby thrown in, bit of a bonus.
It's a long flight.
Yeah, it is a long flight. Other news that most people might be aware of today: the England cricket team are going back out to India to play their final 2 Test matches. I watched the press conference today online while Kevin Peterson fielded lots of different questions, which I couldn't hear. They didn't really play the questions loud enough, but they played the answers. But he seemed to field them very well.
Is this a press conference?
Yeah.
It seems to be always like that. You hear
so
the answers, but
irritating.
never the questions.
Yeah, it's because they don't mic them up very well.
Exactly.
But obviously, because of the terrorist acts happening in Mumbai, they were pulling out, and there were worries. But they have been told that it will be secure and safe for them, and they were all flying back out there today, I think.
Okay.
So hopefully it will all be fine, and they can continue to play the test and hopefully win.
Absolutely.
That would be nice. Kevin Peterson said they wouldn't go out there if they really didn't think that their players were safe, and they said to anyone who was planning on going out to watch the games that just to look on the Commonwealth safety website, tourism sort of thing, that would tell them whether they thought it was safe to go out. But they said they were going to go out there and try now and focus back on the cricket and perform as best they can. So hopefully they'll put the sort of the negative aspects of the tour behind them and focus on the 2 matches ahead now, which would be good. I think, dare I say it, that is all the news I have. I'm sure Scott will have something to say about last night's football. I don't need to tell Elwa about the Chelsea Arsenal result.
I thought you would have covered that on Mondays. I thought I was safe in here today.
No. It's Chelsea were beaten 2-1 by Arsenal on the weekend. Man United drew, I believe, beat Man City 1-0. And